After watching TV, the blind old man was getting ready for bed. Little did he know that a thief had broken into his bedroom. To ensure he fell into a deep sleep, the thief even placed a can of poison gas on the floor, and then rudely slammed the door shut. The thief thought his plan was foolproof, but he had no idea that the old man in bed was the real tough guy. The thief then met up with his two accomplices downstairs. When they discovered that a door in the living room had been locked, they instantly realized the old man's money was hidden in that room, so they wasted no time trying to pick the lock. But though the lock looked unremarkable, it was exceptionally sturdy. They fumbled with it for ages without success. Frustrated, Tom lost his temper and, without a word, pulled out his gun, intending to shoot the lock off. But this move drew protests from his accomplices, because once he fired, it would no longer be just a simple burglary. But at that moment, the greedy Tom wouldn't listen. Without a second thought, he fired a shot at the lock. Sure enough, with a loud bang, the lock on the door was instantly shattered. Jack, however, wasn't willing to take such a huge risk. He left his two companions behind and prepared to go home alone. The remaining two planned to grab the money and make a getaway. But unexpectedly, the old man suddenly walked out of the room.
Who's there?
This instantly terrified the two of them. Realizing things couldn't go on like this, Tom decided he couldn't keep up the act any longer. He explained that he had simply wandered in by mistake. But then the old man stepped on the lock lying on the floor, which instantly made him realize Tom was lying. Realizing his cover was blown, Tom had no choice but to make a threatening remark, and then fired a shot at the ceiling. But the old man, a retired Special Forces soldier, wasn't afraid at all. He slowly crept closer to him, and seized the opportunity to grab his weapon. The old man asked how many of them there were. Tom glanced at his girlfriend beside him and said, "I'm the only one in the house," at that moment, and noticed the wrench on the floor. She had intended to grab it to rescue her boyfriend. But the old man was a man of few words and no mercy. With a single shot, he blew Jack's head off. Seeing this, and was instantly stunned. She hadn't expected the old man to be so ruthless. To avoid the old man's gaze, she had no choice but to slowly back away, until she finally hid under a table. Fortunately, the old man didn't spot her, and narrowly escaped disaster. But her other companion wasn't so lucky. Hearing the gunshot, he rushed back into the house, only to run straight into the old man. Fortunately, he acted quickly and hid, which is why he wasn't caught. Seeing that the old man had locked all the doors and windows, Jack quickly hid in a corner and contacted Anne. However, just as they were about to meet up, the old man suddenly arrived at Anne's location, startled, and had no choice but to hide under the table again. Fortunately, the old man hadn't spotted her. Instead, he was checking the money in the safe. After confirming that the money was still there, the old man turned and left. Relieved, little did the old man know that the password he entered had been clearly seen by Anne, who was watching from behind. So, once the two successfully met up, and quickly entered the code to open the safe, and took the old man's $1 million retirement fund, they then prepared to make a run for it with the money. But the very next second, the old man suddenly pushed open the door, which instantly left them at a loss. Fortunately, the old man had only come to dispose of the body. To avoid arousing the old man's suspicion, they quietly backed away. But just then, the floor suddenly creaked. Hearing the noise, the old man quickly raised his pistol. Scanning the room for the thief, he finally fixed his sights on Anne. Fortunately, the old man didn't notice anything amiss, but the very next second, it turned out to be the deceased's phone ringing. So the old man turned off the phone, and began disposing of the body. Once the old man left the room, they quietly slipped into the basement, to see if there was an exit. But just as the old man finished disposing of the body, he suddenly caught a whiff of a sour, foul odor. When he saw a pair of shoes on the floor that didn't belong to him, the old man instantly realized there was more than one thief. So he quickly checked his safe, and sure enough, found the money inside was gone. This instantly sent the old man into a rage. He swore he would make these thieves pay a terrible price. Meanwhile, the two thieves searching for an exit in the basement unexpectedly discovered one of the old man's dark secrets. There was a young woman imprisoned in the basement. Jack didn't want to get involved and tried to drag the woman away, but Anne was determined to save her. She took the note the woman handed her. The newspaper article detailed a major case from years ago. Years ago, the woman accidentally hit and killed the old man's daughter. Yet in the end, she was acquitted. So, in a fit of rage, the old man had her brought back, and began his plan to use her as a surrogate mother.